and do you accept or do you not accept? That's kind of what it was. And he's been truthful from the beginning. And we fell asleep on the phone for 3-4 months of us first getting together. So for us to fall asleep on a regular night and then to wake up to chaos in the morning was like, oh shit.
I would say that's how we found out, because y'all was on the damn phone.
But that had been going on for 3-4 months. And that wasn't just at night. We talked from sun up to sundown. So that, like I said, that's what shocked me, because I was like, oh hell, what the heck? Because if we go to sleep on the phone for 4 months, every night, and the phone is saying it's 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever, hours on the phone, you don't think that one day you're going to wake up to that, you know? So that's what threw me off. But hey, at the end of the day, look, women are women. I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't have any ill will toward any women. And I don't have any ill will toward her. You know what
So
I'm
y'all
saying?
haven't spoke or nah?
Nah, I mean, she made her post and whatever, and that was about it.
My man is minding his business. He's where he's at. He's where he's at. We're not together all the time. We got 2 different careers. He's a rapper. I'm a boxer. I'm literally in camp. I don't travel when I'm in camp. You guys know I'm just very focused. Like, I would go into you guys know a bit about my business.
We know, girl. We know, girl.
Oh, my man's texting me. Pap love when I send him workout videos.
I've told Papoose. I told them, why don't you tell this stuff? Why don't you tell your current come up? Because that's what it is. Tell your current come up. Don't say nothing about me. Maybe not even say nothing about you until shit is what it is. I'm in here on my TVs. You know, me and my daughter, we have the same name. She looks at everything. I'm in here putting certain things in so that when she's scrolling through YouTube, certain things don't come up, and I gotta try to explain to her. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing anything extra. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not trying to prove to nobody who I'm with or what I'm doing, because that's not what I do. That's not what I do. Like, nobody shouldn't have any ill will towards me, because I ain't do nothing to nobody. Nobody in the whole situation should have any ill will towards me. Nobody. I mean, you're just mad. You're punching the air. My air, I've never breathed so freely in my life. Okay? I couldn't take it anymore. I said, hey, this ain't what it is. We can't keep doing this. We talking about people being truthful. Truthful? The truth, you would probably literally, like, people would cry if they knew the truth. Like, literally cry. Like, cry. I look at it and I feel sorry for old girl. Like, I feel sorry for her, because I know the circles that's being ran and wrapped around over there. Like, I would cry. I feel bad. Stop calling me.
This situation stopped being a quiet breakup the moment it stepped into the public eye. Once people started going live, once subtle hints turned into clear messages, and once I'm done became wait, let me explain. Privacy was already gone. What we are seeing now between Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields is not just a personal dispute. It feels more like a battle over how the story will be remembered. Everyone involved is trying to shape the version of events that the world will accept as truth. The most powerful moment did not come from a screenshot, a leaked message, or a secret recording. It came from a single sentence. When Remy said, "People would cry if they knew the truth," the mood shifted. That line did not sound like a joke or a moment of anger. It sounded like a warning. It suggested there was more beneath the surface, and she was deciding whether to reveal it. From that moment on, the internet stopped asking simple questions about who did what. Instead, people began asking, "What are we not being told?" That shift pulled Claressa into the center of the storm. She was no longer just someone dating a man who said he was separated. In the public mind, she became part of a story that still had loose ends, strong feelings, and unfinished business. Many viewers did not see her as a new chapter. They saw her as overlap. Once that label sticks, every move gets judged through a different lens. Fans began to say that Claressa was not only defending the man she cared about, they believed she was also defending her own choices. That is a hard place to stand because when your decisions are questioned in front of millions, it can feel like your identity is being put on trial. At that point, you are not just arguing about facts. You are trying to protect how people see you. Then Papoose went live on Instagram. Nearly 2 hours, calm voice, steady tone, no shouting. He spoke like someone trying to take control of the narrative. He said Remy crossed lines. He claimed she tried to pull him back in private. One sentence stood out and spread quickly. "You called me yesterday trying to get back with me." That line did a lot of work. It denied any wrongdoing on his side. At the same time, it painted Remy as someone who was hurt, rejected, and reacting emotionally. If people believed that version, then her words would sound like revenge instead of truth. The focus would move away from his actions and land on her response. It was a powerful way to shift attention. Remy did not let that story sit. She fired back, saying she never wanted him back. Then she turned her attention directly to Claressa. She told her to stop acting innocent and stop pretending to be an upgrade. She used a word that hit hard. "Come up." That word was not about love. It was about status. It suggested that Claressa was gaining something from the situation, whether it was attention, visibility, or a higher profile. Now Claressa was no longer just caught in the middle. In the eyes of many viewers, she became part of the problem. That is when she finally spoke for herself. Her tone was not light or playful. It was sharp and tired. She started by saying she did not even know where to begin. That opening alone told people she had been holding things in. She denied that Papoose was her manager, a rumor that had been floating around. She described him as loyal and steady. She tried to lay out timelines, separating dates, legal steps, emotions, and reality. But once people believe there is overlap, they often stop caring about timelines. They start looking for patterns instead. That is where things got more complicated. The idea that this was not the first time something like this had happened began to spread. Old rumors came back. Stories about past relationships, alleged outside children, and connections during difficult periods resurfaced. Some of these claims were denied. Some were walked back. But once the idea of a pattern enters public conversation, it becomes hard to erase. People began to see Papoose in a new light. For years, he had been viewed as the loyal husband, the steady partner, the supportive figure. Now some started to see him as someone who knew how to manage situations, someone who could keep emotional doors open without fully closing others. The question changed from "is he loyal?" to "is he just good at switching lanes?" Claressa could feel that shift in the air. Her responses grew firmer. She made it clear she did not want to be talked about as if she were naive or dependent. She reminded people that she is a professional fighter. She stands on her own. She does not need to be carried by anyone. One small moment online made things worse. A clip went viral where Papoose rated Claressa's cooking. It was meant to be light and fun, simple couple content. But the internet framed it differently. People joked that he looked uncomfortable, like he was choosing his words carefully. Whether fair or not, perception matters. That clip fed a growing idea that Claressa was trying to make the relationship look more secure than it really was. That is where the panic talk came from. Not panic as in crying, but panic as in over-explaining. When someone feels their position slipping, they often talk more, defend more, and try harder to win an argument they do not control. The pressure can make every move feel heavy. Some fans went further, and the comments turned ugly. There were claims that crossed lines and painted Claressa as weak or manipulated. She pushed back strongly against that image. She said she was not broke, not dependent, and not being used. She made it clear she knows who she is. Remy, on the other hand, kept hinting that she had more to say. She suggested that if Claressa kept speaking, she would go even harder on Papoose. That kind of statement does two things at once. It warns Claressa to stay quiet, and it signals that there is still unfinished business. Then people started digging into Remy's old interviews about co-parenting. She had spoken about how smooth things were, how easy communication was, how present Papoose had been. That raised a new question. If things were working like that, what changed so suddenly that made her go public now? Another old story resurfaced. A claim that Papoose once caught Remy in a situation with someone else. That flipped the narrative again. Now people were unsure who hurt who first. Some said Remy had no right to be angry. Others said that story was just a distraction, meant to confuse the situation and shift focus. This is how public storytelling works. You do not always prove innocence. Sometimes you create enough confusion that no one knows what to believe. Claressa is standing in the middle of all of it, watching Remy go live, watching Papoose go live, seeing blogs post updates every hour, reading comments that call her foolish 1 minute and strong the next. That kind of attention does not fade just because you say you are unbothered. She even hinted that she was reaching a breaking point. That does not sound like weakness. Sounds like exhaustion. At this stage, the relationship itself almost feels secondary. The chaos has become the main event. Claressa has to decide whether standing beside him means standing inside constant fire. Remy has to decide whether going public is about telling the truth or keeping control of the story. Papoose has to decide whether staying calm protects him or makes him look calculated. Feels like someone in this situation knows more than they are saying. Someone is holding back. Someone else is waiting for the right moment. The question many people are asking is simple but heavy. Who will drop the proof that makes everyone switch sides? This is no longer about who spoke the loudest or who had the best comeback on a live stream. It is about timing, image, and power. Once personal matters go public, the truth becomes complicated. Silence starts to sound loud. Explanations start to sound defensive. Every move feels like a piece of evidence in a case that never really closes. There is also a deeper layer that many viewers are starting to notice. Fame changes how stories are told. When thousands of people are watching, every feeling becomes a performance, even if no one means it to be. A simple message can turn into a headline. A private thought can become a viral clip. That pressure can push people to act in ways they normally would not. Some fans feel uncomfortable watching it all unfold. They say it feels like real lives are being turned into entertainment. Others argue that when you live in the public eye, attention is part of the deal. Both views exist side by side, and neither one is going away. What makes this situation so gripping is not just the names involved. It is the human part of it. Pride, hurt, loyalty, and fear are all playing roles. Each person is trying to protect something. For Remy, it may be her history and her family. For Papoose, it may be his image and his sense of self. For Claressa, it may be her judgment and her independence. In the end, the internet will keep watching. There will be more lives, more posts, more reactions. Some people will change their minds. Others will dig in deeper. But one thing is clear. Once a story reaches this level, it rarely goes back to being simple. So now the conversation is open. Who do you think is handling this in the smartest way? Do you see heartbreak, careful planning, or wounded pride behind the moves being made? And when the full truth finally comes out, who do you think it will affect the most? Share your thoughts. This story is still being written, and every reaction adds another line to the page.